What I like the most about dancing, just listening to the music and using the music to move.
I like the music and the general relaxation. You can let all your worries go.
I don't know, you get going with the rhythm and things and talk about it, and the music's very nice. I love it.
Community Come Dancing is where we bring members of the local community, Milnthorpe and the surrounding areas, together.
And it's for people with dementia to feel part of the community and to do an activity that they would have done back in 50s and 60s era, where majority of the 70-year-olds plus met their husbands at the dance halls.
We're combining the older generation from the community alongside some school children. And so they're a class that come from the local school, and we have some dance exercises and some warm-up sessions and just some general kind of conversation between the younger and the older generations.
What I loved about the whole idea was to bring back memories for the elderly people of the wonderful times they had going to the social dance in their 20s or in the late teens when this is what they did. Those memories are very precious to them, and if we can recreate that feeling, then it's a real positive emotional feeling.
We just had a lovely time, you know. The girls used to stand at the edge of the room, and the young men used to be roaming around, you know.
I still remember my very first steps. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we started 1, 2, 3. Dancing on the potato field.
Well, we went dancing every night without any break. We went to all sorts of places that there were in Hull at that time, where you could go every night and spend all the evening dancing.
It's interesting to find out what they used to do when they were younger and what they used to wear and where they used to go dancing and everything.
My husband was a musician, and he played in a lot of the big bands. I went to a dance when I was nursing actually, and one or two of my friends, we went in sometimes and for a dance, and that's where I met him.
We went out dancing this particular night with no intentions of having anything to do with any lads. That was when I met my husband.
They wore like puffy skirts or dresses, and the boys wore suits.
I was a little bit shy in those days. It's terribly difficult when you're shy and you go up to a lady and say, I say, may I have this dance with you? And you don't really want to sort of push yourself too far forward because you don't know what the outcome's going to be.
And we all sat round in a circle on chairs
and then somebody would come and ask you to dance?
Oh, it would always finish at 11 o'clock. Always. So whatever your dance, if you started at 8, to finish at 11. It was an enjoyable time, let's put it that way.
Just like this. Just like this.
What were they for?
Well, I did.
Oh, what did I wear? Well, of course, during the war, we did not have many clothes, weren't able to get them, but definitely sticking out skirts and shoes, of course, high-heeled in those days.
I remember having lots of starched underclothes, petticoats. We used to starch them in sugar with a dress over the top. So when you were jiving, that's what I forgot to say, we did a lot of jiving. Your skirt would swing out, you see.
Well, they tell us stories about all their past, and it's just so interesting if they went to school, if they had girlfriends and boyfriends, and just how much they want to go dancing again because they've been sitting in bed and in their homes for a few months now, and they just get to come out and dance with all of us and have tea and coffee and biscuits.
I come to the community come dancing because my mother has dementia and she's had it for maybe 3 years, and it's a condition that can isolate people, and although she now lives in a care home, she still can feel isolated at some times, and my mother was a very active person in her life, so I thought we've got to help her get out and about as well as being cared for. And she loves coming, she used to love dancing, and that's how she met my father and how I came about. So I decided to bring her to the community come dancing, which is a marvellous group of people getting together, people who actually care for those with dementia and people who have dementia, and along with the school children who come from the local school and really support everybody here. It's just a wonderful, cheerful and joyous event.
I was talking to, I think it was Flo, and she was saying that sometimes she just sits and she doesn't know what to do, so she really enjoys it when she comes here, like to talk to us and dance, because she loves dancing.
Once they get there to the community, they really enjoyed it, and some of them that can dance a bit, you know, the little bits of dancing, but those that can't have just been watching and they've really enjoyed it. Obviously they forget that they've been, but once they get to go again, they see it brings it all back to them.
Well, I think it's really good for them to spend some time out of the house and to come dancing with all the children.
It's so important to keep the stimulation up, and especially with it being intergenerational, it's just wonderful. The response that I got from our residents on the first trip was incredible. They came back stimulated, were telling all the other residents about it, over the moon that they've been with these young children who enjoyed the music so much and danced with them. It was fabulous.
A project like this where we've got our community coming together, so older generations with primary school children, I think it breaks down a lot of barriers from both sides, because I think there is a perception that young people won't be interested, that young people are perhaps a little bit rough, a little bit uncaring. So for older people, mixing with them, I think it's really beneficial because they see that the children are really, really genuinely nice people with a lot to give to them. And from the children's perspective, for some children who don't have grandparents, it's giving them access to an older generation they wouldn't necessarily have. It gives them a better awareness of what problems they might have in their day-to-day life, or a better understanding of the issues that they might face. So I think it has brought our community together, and people are talking about it, and they love the fact that the school is working within the community to do something really positive.
Some of my friends have actually learnt how to make tea whilst they've been there. But it's really fun when we get to dance, and it just makes the older people happier.
And we get to hear all elderly people's stories, which is very nice.
It's been really, really positive as far as we're concerned in the classroom. We've had a lot of really good social benefits from the Community Come Dancing. The children have gained a lot of confidence, they've gained life skills, they've really worked on their sense of communication, their ability to talk to different people in different situations and to self-manage their own time. So for me as a teacher, it's been a really, really positive experience.
I learn about older people that they're very interesting, and you can learn a lot about older people than you think, and they're good to speak to because they have a lot of good stories.
Well, I thought I wasn't going to be able to talk to them, but it's actually quite interesting talking to them.
I think it's a really big pleasure for me just to get involved with the community and get to go dancing. And it's really nice for me.
The project fitted in with our science topic about learning about what it would be like when you get older, what issues and problems you may face or you might have to overcome as some people got older. But also it gave them valuable insight into times gone past that might not necessarily be something we cover specifically in school. So they understand about how times might have been different, but also how they're the same. The things that they do are the things that people did 50, 60 years ago, and I think that's been quite nice to them. It's bridged that gap, and both generations have been really interested in each other.
When I see the children dancing, I see children of a given age doing that which they've been encouraged to do and which is fun. And I think fun is an absolute must aspect of young children going dancing.
Well, they're so delightful. You know, they just go in there and they stand up and they dance. No messing about, nothing. They just get on with it, and it's delightful to watch.
Just watching their enthusiasm, I think, and the fact that last time they got dressed up, didn't they? Little girls look lovely in their dresses. And they're so lively, aren't they? That was good, yeah.
It just bridges the gap between the young ones and the seniors, and they can talk about what they did when they was their age.
Well, it was lovely dancing with the children, just shuffling around. Of course, I'm fairly tall, and some of them were only this size. But they loved moving about to the music and things like that.
Oh, I loved it. I've been a nurse in the a children's nurse and the schools, so I was used to having, using with children, and oh, I loved it.